Farming is the backbone of our survival, yet a lot of people don't realize the hard work and dedication it takes to keep it running. Behind me is Jian Farm, and today we are going to be learning about this farm and what it takes to start and run a successful farm. So stay tuned. Welcome everyone once again. Today we are diving deep into the world of farming with a special focus on livestock, poultry farming and egg hatching. And our host for today is no other person but the owner and founder of Jian Farms. So sir, please can you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Andrew Adams. I'm a co-owner of Jian Farm, so it is a partnership. So yes, that's who I am.
Okay,
basically.
so can you tell us how you get into farming?
Yeah. Well, for me, I've always been a farmer from as long as I can remember. From when I remember in my secondary school days, I used to have rabbits. I used to train rabbits, and I used to have chicken. I used to have goats. So for as long as I can remember, I've always been into farming. And I remember when I was in Pape, I had a fish farm. I had about 3 ponds of fish farm. So yes, farming has always been my thing. Of course, I studied architecture. I've been practicing. I build houses. But something that gives me real joy and that I've always wanted to do is something like this, to own a farm. You know, to have such a setup where I can rear livestock, you know, do farming professionally. And that's where I see this farm going.
Now, you said when you were in Pape, you were into fish farming.
Yes.
Now here you are doing it different. You are into egg hatching and livestock farming. So what inspired you to change your niche?
Okay, for the fish farming, of course, I had a bad experience with my fish farming. So fish farming, basically, you have issues with selling. So that's where the losses usually come from, because middlemen make more money than the actual farmers, and it's expensive. As of 2015, I remember I had about maybe 2,000 fishes at one time, and then another time I had like 3,000 plus fishes. To feed those fishes, as of 2016, where a bag of feed was just 6,000 naira, we were spending close to 2 million naira just for those 4 months. So imagine now where a bag is about 30-something thousand. I don't think it is worth it, but of course there are people who are into it who make money. But for me, this is so the idea why I moved into this livestock is because it is something you can grow. So fish farming is just purely business. Goods, after 4 months you sell. But here the idea is, you know, when I look at some farms outside this country, especially in Kenya and Uganda, I see how, you know, you see breeds of goats where farmers breed goats. You know, I have such dream, you know, to one day, you see, this came from Jian Farms. You know, this breed of goats came from this place, or this breed of turkey, or this breed of this, you know, okay, or this breed of sheep came from this farm. And that is something that inspires me.
Wow. So I see that you have, I don't know if these are incubators.
They are incubators.
I've not seen an incubator in my life before.
Okay, these ones are mini ones. They are low capacity incubators. 320 eggs capacity each.
Okay, each. That is the two is 620.
640.
Okay, sorry, 640. So
yes.
You hatch if it's at their due time, you will have like 640 chickens.
No,
or they don't.
That's not how it works.
That's not how
that's not how it works.
Well, because I was thinking that you normally put the eggs inside at
yes,
once.
No, you don't put it. So because I hatch for people,
yes,
people bring them at different times.
Okay, but what if you put them inside at once?
If I put all 600 once,
yes.
So the due time will be the same time.
Okay.
So instead of having a different, you know, like I told you when you came in.
Okay.
Yesterday was our hatching.
Yes.
And then the next one will be like.
So can you walk us through the process of hatching.
So I would even like to tell you how we got into Hardship first.
Okay.
You know, I think that is an interesting story.
Yes.
So I have some turkeys there. You'll see them later.
Yeah.
I have some turkeys. So the time came for them and they started laying eggs. And I didn't want to be eating eggs because the idea, like I told you at the beginning, the idea of this farm is to grow the farm. You know, to grow it from small and multiply it. And that's the plan. So it's not, for now, it's not a money-making venture. It is to grow a farm. And so when the time came, they started laying eggs. There was someone who told me that they used to hatch the eggs somewhere in Kuje, very far from here. And then, you know, I went there, spent money to even go there. And because, you know, I'm science inclined, I like to know how things work. So when I see a machine, I want to understand the mechanism behind its operation. And that's how I saw that, and I felt like, this thing will be good here. Because I was thinking my turkeys should be laying eggs every week. Is this what I'll be doing every week? I mean, going there. So I began to make inquiry, you know, asking people, what do you think about having something like this here? You know, asking those farmers around, what do you think, you know, about this and all that. And then, yeah, that was the story. Some of my hatcheries, my own personal hatcheries, are outside, so maybe you'll see them later. But to walk you through the process, so somebody brings egg to us. So maybe you want to bring your camera a bit close. So somebody brings egg to us. So the first thing we do is want to be sure. So all these eggs you see here are rejected eggs. It means that they are not fertile. So after 7 days, we usually check fertility to see if an egg is fertile. So I don't know if you can if you can see this. Maybe if you can bring your camera very close.
Take it, please. Take it.
Can you see?
Yes.
So we want to see inside if there is a presence of life
in it,
inside the egg.
Before even taking it to the incubator.
Yeah, we want to see first. So what we do first of all, when somebody brings fresh eggs, we want to be sure it's fresh eggs in the first place. So we check. The first check-in is to be sure that there's nothing inside. It's a fresh egg. Then, once we confirm that they are fresh eggs, we put them inside the incubator. We mark them just for identification because they belong to different people. So you see there are different markings on them. Now, after 7 days, we go back to the incubator, bring out those eggs that we put. We want to be sure now that there's life inside. Do you understand? Yeah. So once we confirm that there's life inside, we check for movement and to see if just like normal fetus inside the ovary. Yes. We want to see movement, that what is inside there is moving, it's alive. So once we confirm that there's life, there's movement, we return those ones back inside the incubator. And then those ones that we don't see anything, we put them here. And if all these are Noilers egg, these are Noilers. This is turkey egg. Yes, so Noila is those, they are a bit bigger than normal local chicken, so they are a crossbreed. Okay. Noilers are crossbreed, so they are bigger. You see them, those red chicken.
Yes,
some of them have different colors.
Yes.
So they are Noilers. This egg is turkey. So for a Noila egg, for instance, is 18 days. After 18 days, we put them on what we call lockdown. I don't know how you see this. I don't know how you see this, but you have to maybe bring your camera a bit close. So this is what we call lockdown. If you notice here, there is something like a tray.
Yeah.
Up here.
Yeah.
But if you see, there's no tray here.
Yeah. Yes.
So all the eggs here are on lockdown.
Yes. After 7 days, we bring them out.
Check if there is life. Return them back. Then after 18, so from the day that we put them for 18 days, from that day that we put them, not the day we check fertility.
Yes.
The very first day we begin to count. For Noila eggs, we check 18 days. We put them on lockdown. So all these eggs here are on lockdown. So lockdown means that I am not opening this thing.
Okay.
It also means that the humidity here has to be raised to allow for moisture. So during incubation, what happens is that there's a removal of water from the egg, and that's part of the things that the incubator does. So if you check the humidity there, this is humidity. This one 72.
Okay.
You see this other one. Sorry.
So that he can.
You see this other one.
It's 44.
I brought it down to 44.
Yeah.
So it ranges between 39 to 49. I don't want it to be more than. The reason why I don't want it to be more than is if there's too much water in the egg, they can form, and when it comes to hatching, they will not hatch. They will drown inside the egg and die.
Wow.
So I'm reducing it so that there is not too much water. But when it comes to lockdown, we have to increase it so that there is at least little water inside the egg, at least for them to be able to move and peep. So what you see on the maybe 18 day for a Noila, for instance, you begin to see what they call peeping. It means that the chick is about to come out. It begins to use its beak to break through the egg.
It's by itself.
Yes, by itself. You begin to see that it tries to break, then it stays there for 6 to 7 hours trying to come out until it finally breaks, round, and then it pulls out. Then for a turkey egg takes longer. Turkey egg takes at least 25 days before lockdown. Then for geese, so this egg there is geese egg.
Geese?
Yes.
Wow, they are big.
Yeah, they are bigger eggs.
So are they too on lockdown?
Yeah, these ones, they are not on lockdown yet. They are not on lockdown. These ones, these eggs, they are geese eggs.
Their incubator seems to be a bit more smaller.
No, it's just the capacity. It's not, I can do that here.
Okay.
But I put it here because I want to regulate the temperature and humidity for this egg. So if you notice, their own temperature is steady at 38.
Yes.
Meanwhile, this one is at 37.9.
So you said you had some.
Yeah, yesterday.
Newly,
some persons, they've carried some.
Wow. So how can we differentiate between turkey and...
So this is turkey. This is another turkey.
Okay.
Usually you know them from their sound.
Yes.
This is Noila. Oh, sorry, this is Brahma. So see the hair. You've seen this chicken before. That is how hair is very big.
Yes.
So this is a Brahma chick. Then this other one. This is another Brahma. This is Noila.
Wow. Are you the one that marked them?
Yes, we mark them for identification too, because they belong to different people. So I have to mark them to be sure you're not giving one person's egg to another person.
This is quite educative.
Yeah.
So after hatching,
yes.
Well, by you mark the egg, so once they hatch, you know that this particular one is from this particular person. So it's
you see what we do here too?
Yes.
You see what we do here? So those eggs have labels on them.
Yes.
So once anyone hatches, we want to indicate by a color.
Yes.
And then that's how we add.
So what is the name of this your incubator?
It's an automatic incubator. So you say mini incubator.
Okay. But that means we have manual one.
The manual one is the local one that people do. There's a way they set it up.
Okay.
They use lights, and I don't know how they do it, but I think I've seen a picture of it before.
What are the biggest challenges you faced with egg hatching?
I think knowledge on the side of the farmers.
Okay.
Yes. So one of the biggest challenges is I think that was what my first video I did was to educate people.
Yeah, I saw it.
Also educate people. So people bring eggs, for instance, how to store eggs. Not many people know how to store eggs. Wow. Not many people. So
there is, sorry to cut, there is a way you store your eggs.
Yes, there's a way you store.
And if you don't store it well, if you take it for incubation, it will work.
It will not work. It will show us that it's clear there's nothing inside, but after fertility you'll see that there's nothing inside.
But when we were growing up, when some of those local birds, sometimes they don't lay eggs at in our compound. They normally yes today. So some of our good neighbors will call us to come and pack the eggs. And there is a way my mother normally packs it, that if you touch it with your hand, the egg will not hatch.
Usually it's myth, it's superstition. Superstition, except
I don't know if you encountered
except if there are germs on your hand.
Okay.
So usually we wash our hands very well once we come to this farm to doing. So I'm free to touch all these eggs because these are rejected eggs.
How can someone manage his eggs?
So like I said, the challenge first is knowledge. Not many people have knowledge. So say you have farm and your chicks are laying egg, your chicken are laying egg. You pick your egg. Some people will just take crates and just begin to store their eggs like this, which is wrong. In storing egg, you don't stand your egg this way. If you stand your egg this way for maybe some 2-3 days, the embryo that is supposed to form, it gets clouded by the yolk and it chokes it out. It will not form. So usually you lie your egg down this way. But if you notice those your local chicks, when they want to lay egg,
yes,
you remember that they used to go and look for one warm corner.
Yes.
And then that's where they lay.
They also lie it down.
So that's how your eggs should be stored. You get a place or something.
So you don't even necessarily need a crate.
No, you don't need to put a crate. So all these ones are not good eggs anymore. That's why they're here.
Are they eatable?
Some of them, but some are not. Some are already bad.
Okay.
We're just waiting for the owners to come and pick them up. The bad eggs. They've taken their chicks, the ones that hatched.
Wow. This is the first time I'm hearing this kind of. This is the first time I'm hearing this kind of. So, what are there any specific breeds of chicken that are better for hatching?
Noella does better in hatching. That's my own personal observation. Because turkey is more complicated because not many people understand. So turkey eggs, normally when you pick your turkey eggs, is usually harder. Like the shell is harder to crack. So sometimes a turkey makes it to lockdown. So lockdown is the period where you are waiting for them to come down, but then it cannot come out
because of the shell.
The shell is too strong and it cannot come out. It cannot break it out. Break out to make it alive. And sometimes when we notice that there's a presence of life, and that means it's peeping, it's bringing its beak. If we see that after a long time it's not able to come out, we usually help them.
Break it by yourself.
Break it gently and bring them out. There was one we brought out yesterday. I think it's one of these ones. They carried it. I think they've carried that one. We noticed it was taking too long. We had to bring it out to help it. Because if you don't help it, it will die because of weakness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So can we take your pets and livestock?
So these were some of my first hatcheries. This down here is the very first.
Okay.
These down ones. These ones. They were the very first I hatched there.
Wow. They are big.
They are big now. They're about 3 months.
Seems I'm going to take one for Easter. So these ones.
Then these other ones were the second and third sets. I mixed them up. So the second and third sets. These ones now, some are about 9 weeks, some are 8 weeks.
So this particular set of birds, this turkey, how and the cost of feeding it, is it high?
Yeah, it's quite high
compared to the chickens.
Turkey eats. But what they do more is drink water. They drink more water than your average broilers and they drink a lot of water.
Okay.
But feeding them is like everybody is challenging. Feeds are, when I started this thing, feeds were 15,000 per bag. Now they're about 23,000.
Wow.
So it goes between 23,200, 22,700, like that. Been fluctuating around there.
Looks like these ones, they are more expensive.
The turkeys, yes, turkey is more expensive. To sell one of these kind of turkey now, you should be talking as it is. You should be talking about 20 something.
How many months old are these?
Some are 9 weeks. Like some of this set, they are 9 weeks. This other set, this one, if you see them, they are most of the same height.
Yeah.
Those ones are about 8 weeks now.
But in broilers, this one are due for
yes.
8.
Yes. So they take longer.
Yes.
In maturing, especially the men. So let's see the one that is alive now.
So you said your turkey started laying eggs.
Yes.
But in broilers, I think there is a specific kind of food that they give them.
Layers, right?
Yes, yes.
So they lay eggs too.
So, but in turkey, were you giving them the layers?
No, just normal food.
Ah.
I don't want them to come out. So these are the female. Some are under there.
And that is the male.
That's the surviving male.
But now you're not selling.
No. Cannot sell now.
But
like I told you now, the business we have to.
This particular turkey now, what is their lifespan?
Lifespan?
Yeah.
They can go as much as 5 years.
Wow.
These ones now are in 2 months' time they'll be 1 year.
1 year.
This set. They'll be 1 year.
Wow.
So you see the difference between the female and the male.
Yes, yes.
There are a lot of male inside there too. So we are hoping.
Wow. So let me look at your livestock, yeah? Your goats. Do we have different breeds here?
Yes, for goats, right?
Yes.
All of them are actually desert goats.
You know,
but
when you go to the far north, you see some goats that are very tall.
Yes.
So, what are those kind of goats called? Or are these the desert goats from the far north?
All these ones are from the north. All these goats. In fact, there were more than this when I brought them. There were more than this. I had a lot of casualties.
Okay.
A lot of
I was even coming to that. Like, I wanted to ask, how do you manage feeding and
feeding is expensive for goats. Feeding is expensive for goats.
The turkey and goats like healthcare, how do you manage it?
The healthcare.
Yeah.
These ones are more expensive to rear compared to turkey. Turkey, the drug that will go around for all these ones, maybe 3,000, 4,000 naira. But this one, to have a vet doctor come treat one, sometimes they take as much as 8,000 for one. And when they want to treat everything, sometimes spend as much as 50, 60, 70.
And it's not like there is a specific kind of treatment that they normally give them. Like
no, it depends on what is wrong with individual one.
Yes.
So sometimes maybe one is purging, you have to treat it for purging. Maybe one is coughing, you have to treat it for coughing.
So now between these goats and ram, which one is the most profitable?
I think ram is better.
How about rearing?
Rearing too.
Wow.
Like this ram now, if I want to sell this one now,
is it going to be up to 100? Sorry, 200. I'm just asking.
If I want to sell this ram now, I'll not sell it less than 250.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This particular one?
This ram. So now the problem is that's the only surviving male.
It can't be sold.
Yeah, it cannot be sold. They are female. This one, that's his child there. Yeah. That's the daughter.
I heard they only gave birth once in a
yes, they are.
And mostly
gestation is usually 7 to 9 months.
Wow.
Even goats take long.
Are there other new technologies or techniques that you are looking forward to implement in this farm?
This farm.
Yes.
What I've been thinking of recently is I'm beginning to think that here is being underutilized. There's a lot of space here that we may do some things, but honestly speaking, what I had in mind and still have in mind is to have this is a farm, so it's not like a slaughterhouse.
Yes,
like this is a real farm.
Yes.
Where we are going to have our own kinds of goods.
So you are looking forward to bringing other breeds.
Yes, and then doing crossbreeding and then having our own special kind of breed. That is the plan for these goats, and then multiplying them. So right now, all of them, we want to just give them their first. Let all of those female, the ones that want to give birth, should give birth, that first, and then we are out of the way. Because like this sheep now,
yes,
it was pregnant before it came here. You understand?
Yes.
So we are not in control of the male. The same thing with this one. It was pregnant before it came here. You understand? Even the goats that gave birth were pregnant before they.
I think with time you introduce things like kettles, or you just want to focus on this.
That's that was a future plan. But for now,
yes,
I am really keen on turkey.
So are you not going to introduce broilers?
Not broilers. I'm going to introduce those Brahmas. I've already spoken to somebody to help me get the eggs. Okay. I'll incubate them myself.
Okay, like one of the experience people normally have with raising, most especially broilers, because I don't know much about turkeys.
Okay, yeah.
One of the bad experience people notice is managing their healthcare. Like sometimes they just die. Although one of my cousins that studied animal production in school then told me that sometimes those things do experience heat too.
Yes.
So if you don't know how to manage them very well,
like this season now, it's not good for a novice.
Yes.
In those in birds, so because of the kind of heat.
Yes.
This heat alone can kill all your chicken. Like,
so the turkeys,
turkeys don't have issues with heat. They actually have issues with when an environment is cold. They want heat.
Why broilers want a stomach temperature?
So broilers, you have to regulate their temperature. You have to know when it should be cold. You have to know when it should be hot. But they need cross ventilation very well.
That means if I'm going into business, I prefer this.
For me, I prefer turkey. It's just that turkey is more difficult at the early stage.
Okay, managing the healthcare.
Between the first day of hatching and the next 5 weeks. That's where your issue is. Once you cross that period, usually, you are fine.
Wow.
But broilers, you just can't tell. One heavy heat, one day can just wipe all your broilers. And the same thing for layers too. They experience the same thing. So like here now, I cannot put broilers here. So you can feel the heat.
Yes.
To put broilers, you have to raise this place higher than it is.
But goats don't have any issue with
they're adapting. So here is a canal. There's a canal here. So here gets a bit cold. And if you see some of these goats, which is something people may not even take note of, their hair covering their hair.
Yeah.
So some of them have lighter hair. Some of them have thicker hair, which helps them.
Like that particular
so
one.
Like that black guy now.
Yes. The hair is thicker.
The hair is thicker. So it keeps them warm. It keeps them warm. I know desert goats, they like walking around.
Yes.
They are used to hot environment. They don't even like cold environment.
So what kind of breed? Just now that I'm even knowing that we have desert, when I was much younger, what we only know is far north goats are more taller compared to let's say eastern and western goats.
Yeah, like those normal local goats.
Yes,
they're very short.
Yeah. So now, but it's how many kind of breeds do we have in goats?
Do I know all? I don't know.
That
all
means
the
there are
breeds.
even more.
I don't know all. You see, like I told you now, I want to have my own breed, so I can have my own breed.
Are you serious?
Yes. I have my own
It's just a matter of running a crossbreed.
crossbreed, yes. Get a kind of male that you like, and kind of female that you like, or even 2 males. So I've seen somebody do something which is very amazing. I don't know how he did it, but he used the ram to cross.
I wanted to ask that.
He used the ram to cross a goat, and the kid, if you see the kid, very nice. The outcome was good.
Wow. Wow. So do rams too have their different kind of breed?
Yes, now.
So what breed is this?
Do I know those English names?
You can call it. Like, let us. We must not. I just want to know. I'm kind of curious because this is the first time I'm hearing this.
Balami.
So this one is Balami.
They call this one Balami. So they grow tall. There are many species, many species. There's even some you see that look like ram, that look like cow. I mean,
and they are rams.
They are rams.
That means they are very big.
I bought one of those types of species, but it didn't survive.
Was it due to the
environment?
Wow.
That one could not adapt quick, and then it didn't survive.
Wow.
All of them, the process to keep all these goats, because I went to Katsina to get them. To keep them alive was not an easy task.
Okay, that is transporting them from Katsina to Abuja.
To this place. That road, tiredness.
Yes.
And other sicknesses that they had, that because somebody wants to go and sell his good now, you will not bother to treat some things that they've noticed.
And even the seller will not even tell you that.
Will not tell you that this is.
Wow.
Sometimes they may never know.
Yes, that is because some people don't take note of all those things.
So now that they are here, you are seeing them face to face. You can observe. One thing about livestock is that they are like normal children. You just have to observe. If you're turkey, you see now, like when we came in, I saw one turkey standing inside this stuff. When you see turkey standing inside water, it means that there's something wrong with it.
So it's abnormal for a turkey to stand.
To just go and be standing inside water, it means it's hot inside. Then there's something responsible for that, and you have to pay close attention. Yeah, livestock is like children. You just have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to how they cry, to how they cough, to how they sneeze, and all that.
Wow. Okay, this was is actually an educative section with the CEO himself. I guess I will be coming from time to time to get some lectures from you, but it's just that your place is far.
That would be nice, yeah. So farm, you have to go far. You have to go far.
So the people are saying pigs is also
lucrative.
Yeah. So,
I've heard that.
So I heard
there's so much money inside piggery.
Are you going to
try? Because here is going to be a proper farm. Yes. You can't rule out anything. Here is going to be a proper farm. But we want to grow it.
You are laying a foundation.
Yeah, we don't want to just dump things and be learning, because it's money you are using to learn.
Yes.
Now I want to observe. It's easier to observe. Now they are few.
Wow. That was actually an insightful and educative section with
thank you so much,
Mr. Andrew. Farming business is actually a lucrative one and a challenging.
Expensive.
And expensive.
Very expensive.
No business is expensive.
No, farming is different.
But
what these goats have consumed, if you sell all the goats now as they are,
you won't be able to.
You will not get it.
But like you said, you are laying a solid foundation. Yes. That will be all for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.